and I'm out here today. It's a beautiful day, opening day of youth turkey season. Clock's ticking, almost time, but I've been talking with Jamie Burley. I don't know if y'all know who he is. If you don't, you need to go check him out. He has a channel called 1 Foot in the Wild on YouTube, and he is a lead instructor at the Pathfinder School, Dave Canterbury's school, and I tell you what, he really knows what he's talking about when it comes to building longbows, and that's what I want to do. I want to build some longbows. So first thing you need when you're building stuff like that is a scraping horse. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take you all with me. I'm going to build a scraping horse. I've already got some pieces cut. This is the main frame. It's 4 foot long to this point, and I got a slight angle going back. I think it's about 1 inch. And the bottom is 46.5. So I went from 48 to 46.5 and just cut a small angle, and I cut another board just like it down here. This is going to be the beam that starts it all. I got to build we're going to need an 18-inch leg right here, a seat for sitting in, and that's pretty much it as far as, and some, the legs in the back. That's pretty much all we need to get started for our base, and then we'll start working on the actual vise part of it. So you can look these up online. I watched one video and he just kind of measured it, but we're going to go through building it. And there's lots of pictures all over the internet that you can go and look at, and this is kind of there's several different ways to build them. This is kind of what I've seen that I thought would be best for me, because I'm not the smallest guy out there. So alright, on this leg I'm going to take a piece that's too long, stick it in here and flush it up right here, and make a line on the back side. That's going to be my first cut. It's going to have a little bit of an angle on it. We want that front leg to have a forward angle for stability. It's only going to have one leg out here, so we want a lot of stability on there. Got so far. Got a couple different sets of screws in here. I'll kind of explain that. This back here, I couldn't have anything sticking out. Like, I got about 1.5 inches of this bolt sticking out, because we're going to have legs that come into this pretty tight. So I went ahead and used lag bolts back here, 2 on each side going in to keep my space. We got about 10-inch 2x6s in here, 1 on this end, 1 in the middle, and then we got our leg down there keeping our gap. We want this gap in it right here. That's going to be for our clamp later. But down there I just use 8-inch bolts, I think. Well, wait, 6-inch bolts. That's why I got so much sticking out back here. But and if that gets in the way later, I'll cut them off, but that should be fine. Well, as you can see, we've added the clamp piece to it. I don't know exactly how tall this needs to be yet, so I left it as long as I thought it was needed to be. But I wanted something that was about arm's length away, straight up and down, and easy enough that I could just put my feet on it and still be comfortable. And all it is a 2x4 with the bolt running right through it all the way through. That's why I put this centerpiece in here, to give me this gap. And of course I got my pedals put on there, which is just another 2x4 nailed to it. Alright, this next piece is going to be this. It's going to be what you clamp to, like your platform. It's going to go over this. I put a pretty big hole in there, give me lots of room, so I hope it works. Freaking wet red wasper out today, that's for sure. This goes over this, and we got a hinge on this back end that we're going to put on here and attach so that it can lift up and down. Alright, so this is what I kind of hobbled together. Got my platform hinge so it'll move. I can put the bow staff in there. This is my clamping device, which I need to trim off some edges, but we'll get that as we go. I can put my staff in there wherever I need it, push it down, and remove wood. Alright, it's T-Mac, and I'm still preparing to start building my own longbows. This is a longbow I built for my wife. It's a little light. To get the flex in it I needed, I really had to thin out these limbs, and I kind of thought she was a bigger wimp than she was, I guess, because, you know, it's really, really not a lot of poundage there at all. But it turned out pretty good, I thought. And another device I'm wanting to build after watching Jamie Burley's videos and talking to him a little bit is a tillering tree, which I got mine mounted back here. All this is a 2x6 that I've mounted to this wall on the outside of my shop. Has nails in it with numbers next to it. I got 6 inches, which is where I want my brace height on my longbow. 12, 16, 20, 25, 28, and 30, just some draw links. And of course I got it padded with some deer hide that I brain tanned and put up in here so that it cradles the bow and doesn't scratch it any. But let me get you in here and show you what this looks like. So all I did was just put an angle in, down and up in a 2x6. That's it. All it has to do is cradle the bow. And I started my measurements out at the bottom of the cradle. So when I set the bow in there, it measures from the bottom of the handle to 6 inches. But it just holds your bow, and make sure the bottom of your bow goes down to this mark, and that's 6 inches. This here long bow was brace height was about 5 inches. So, but all you do is you put it up there and you can draw it down. And you can, looks like a big crossbow. You can kind of see where you need to take off on your limbs. If this limb has these actually been pretty good, but you can tell that one's a little weaker right here than this one. But with this tillering tree, as we go along, I'll be using it. I can tell which limb is bowing different than the other, and I can make corrections as I go. And make sure you put these nails in pretty good, at least halfway through, because there's going to be a lot of pressure on them. If I wanted to go further and really get things going, I could paint some lines all behind it, just a big square with lines all behind it, and then I could really see how it bends. Wild for the outdoors. Check us out around the cabin. That's www.aroundthecabin.com. Check the campfire for listings of our live show. Be sure to join Team Wild for the Outdoors at the 2014 Camo Outdoor Expo, held at the MSSU Leggett Platt Center August 16th and 17th, near Joplin, Missouri. Once again brought to you by the Camo Crew. For tons more videos, go to our YouTube channel, Wild for the Outdoors. You can also see them at www.wildfortheoutdoors.com, and be sure to visit our online store. And don't forget to go to Facebook, like us, share us with your friends, and hey, remember, it's your God-given duty to manage this land.